She bails trying to jump up onto the couch. She falls going up the stairs, like regularly, like even now, like when she's comfortable, like seriously, like
Aw.
the poor girl, she's just a hot mess. My husband texted me one night and was just like, she just tripped going up the stairs and then farted. And I was like, let's keep her. I love her.
Welcome to Let's Boop Snoots.
Welcome. My name's Heidi.
My name is Vero.
And we are going to boop snoots today. Boop. So musical. This is going to be a musical show. I think I've threatened a musical show before.
Yes, and
Yep,
we lost many listeners.
Okay, then I definitely won't even threaten it again.
We're just going to talk like this and be
monotone. Today, we are going to talk about
Ralph.
Some stories about our dogs. Some bad dog stories. Some bad dog stories.
Yeah.
Bad dogs.
Bad
dogs.
Bad dogs.
And then I went
How
on
bad?
bad dogs. And then I went on another visit to the West Coast, so I had a couple of snoot stories to tell you that I noticed, that I observed out there. That my snoot picked up on while I was out there. And then we may have some fun facts. We'll see where we end up at the end of this.
Yeah, we've got many fun facts.
All right, what happened with Ralph today? I'm dying to hear.
So, I kept telling Ralph we were going to the Big Boy Dog Park today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the fenced-in area that you can see from the highway.
Oh,
close to Carling, yeah.
Yep.
So we get to the fenced-in dog park, and Ralph is playing, and there's this like really, really big dog, like beefy dog that's like following him around with a ball in his mouth, and he's not like growling, but he's just like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So Ralph is not fixed yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that there's a chance that Ralph might get like pinned down at the dog park by an older dog. So I'm kind of chatting with this girl. She had a dog, like a doodle type dog named Indigo. She's super cute. And then all I hear is like squealing. And this dog is like on top of Ralph. I don't know like what he was doing exactly because there was like a bunch of people around trying to like separate them. But it was loud and I did not like it. So we left. Yeah. And people thought he was bleeding because he has a red bow on his collar.
Yeah.
But he was okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we had to leave because the owner stayed. Which like I knew that like might happen.
Yeah.
But it just it sounded really bad.
It always does. It always does. It sounds horrible. And it's good that he got out of it with like hopefully not a scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed okay.
Yeah, did you check over everything? There's no like punctured skin anywhere or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Because that happened to Scraps once, like a long time ago. Do you remember that story? We were like, it's so... Because we would go to Bruce Pit, which is a dog park, but it's a big open one. Like, it's somewhat fenced in at the sides, but I mean, like, it is like, I would say, like, at least a couple of kilometers by a couple of kilometer, like, area. Huge area that's got a bit of trees in it and stuff and different pathways that you can walk down with the one big open area at the end. So, I remember Scraps was older, too. He was a senior. And he was like in his old age getting a little bit snarly with the odd dog, like here and there. So we would always keep an eye on him. But this dog like sort of, and then Scraps sort of like, and then it just like just kept escalated so quickly. And Scraps was so old that this dog literally was standing right on top of him. And Scraps was like pinned down to the ground, like luckily facing the ground, like not like arms up or anything like that. But we were able to separate them. And then Scraps literally turned around and just walked back to the car. We were like, Scraps, come here. And he was like, nope, I'm going home. Like, I'm done. Like, I think he was like embarrassed or, who knows, but we looked him over and everything. And same thing, no skin punctured, no bleeding, like no nothing. It was like just like a total, but it sounds awful.
It does. And I don't know
Yes.
if Ralph was like the only one like squealing, but it was so loud and high pitched. And you can
Mm.
hear the other dog like just like "Meow, meow, 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 meow," like
Yeah. Yeah.
just going at him. I don't know what he
Yeah.
was doing, but and you
And
could
did the
see like Ralph rolling around, like trying to trying to escape, but he couldn't.
yeah did it,
Oh
and the owner didn't say anything to you or anything?
no, well, we kind of talked about it before because his
Yeah.
dog was following Ralph, and he's like, just so you know, like, is your dog fixed? And I'm like, no, and I know like older dogs might like pin him
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
but I wasn't expecting that bad.
Yeah.
So
Oh, not fun.
no, so we left, and then we met Hazel at the other dog park,
Oh,
the
thank
safe
God.
space.
Yes. Was he happy to see Miss Hazel?
Yes, and there was Aurora, another golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a trio, a Goldie trio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Hazel's owner messaged me and I was like, we're coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
Poor Ralphie. And then
Is
he was pooped.
Yeah, is Hazel the one that's like your backyard neighbor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
The one
Perfect.
that had Harry before.
Yes. Oh my
Baby
God.
Hazel. She's so
Baby
cute.
Hazel.
She's getting big.
Oh. Is she?
Yeah.
Do they just like romp like crazy? Just like
Yes.
a total Goldie romps?
Yes. Especially with Aurora. Like she's a better match for Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in terms of like playfulness.
Yeah.
I guess Hazel is still pretty young,
Yeah.
but
Still
yeah.
trying to figure it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Figure it out.
So cute.
So cute.
So cute.
Dog is so cute.
So that's my experience today.
Oh
It's
my
my first
goodness.
like bad dog park experience
Yeah.
ever.
I know. And this is why some people like are really against going to the dog parks. But again, like if you know that that's a possibility and you were aware of it and now that you've experienced it, like would you go back to that dog park again?
I wouldn't go there. I
Mhm.
would still go to Bruce Pit though because you're kind of walking.
Yeah, it's like you just keep going on so you're able to move on really
Yeah.
quickly.
And
It's
the
not like
other owners want their dogs to follow. So
yeah,
they go and
exactly.
grab their dogs. Whereas the other dog park, you're just kind of standing and they're all stuck in the same area.
Yeah, playing like forced to play with each other. Whereas Bruce Pit,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like these brief little interactions, if they even have one at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just keep, so like the momentum is there, which is like in your favor.
Yeah. And I'll go back
Yes.
once he's fixed, but
Yeah.
not now. Not now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you about my LOUE experiences. So, for anyone who's new to the show, we recently adopted another Weimaraner. So, we lost our dog previously before Christmas. We have Gibbon, our 5-year-old Weimaraner. We were reaching out to the Weimaraner breeder. I asked him to reach out if he had any returns. Lo and behold, Gibbon's blood cousin, his
Blood
bloodline,
cuz.
his familia, House of Gucci. His familia got returned to the breeder. So, and he asked if we were interested, and we said yes. So we took in another 5-year-old Weim. So they're both the same age. They've been getting along swimmingly, but
Ooh.
LOUE was definitely from like again. You never really know. Oh, would you two cut it out? Look, there they go, protecting the house from monsters that don't exist.
Monsters don't exist.
Not in this house right now.
Hmm.
They're going to protect us from invisible monsters.
Those
But
definitely exist.
and yeah, I've talked about this sort of before, right? Like the behaviors that come with them, and like she's definitely a bit more reactive, which is Gibbon's sort of picking up on. And I've been trying to work with that. But anyways, when you get a new dog, you have no idea what the previous like environment was like. So the breeder told me like again, they're busy. They're pushing out litters like pretty like often, and are very busy running their kennels. So they had like very little information to share. and we sort of knew what we were getting into. Like, I know what I'm getting into rescuing a dog. So a friend of mine that we mention on the show all the time, from Canines in the Capital, Michelle, she sent me a little reminder, and it's this like little. I think I made mention of it on the previous couple of shows or whatever, where it's the 3-3-3 model. So it says like in the first 3 days, the dog's overwhelmed, they're scared, they're not sure what's going on, they're not really comfortable like being themselves yet. They might not want to eat or drink. They kind of shut down or hide or stay in the crate, and they test like the boundaries a little bit. Then it says at 3 weeks, then they start to settle in. They're feeling a bit more comfortable, realizing this could be their forever home. They're figuring out the environment a bit better, getting into the routine, letting their guard down. So you start to see their personality a little bit, and then uh, behavior issues start to show up. That's what I want you guys to take note of right now. And then at 3 months, it says that they're comfortable in their own home. They're building like a true like trust and bond with you, and that they start to feel like absolutely secure in the routine with the new family. So we're at like the 4 week mark. And I was telling Vero this the other day. So she's been really good. Like, she is a Velcro. Like, I thought Gibbon was a Velcro dog, like the true Weimaraner style. She's even more so of a Velcro dog, like literally smush up against your face. And so I've been sort of trying to teach her to like a bit of boundaries around that. And especially like we let our dogs on the furniture. But I took like a little page from the Solid Canine training page where it's just like, you can let dogs on the furniture, but again, there needs to be boundaries. So making her sit and wait and then invite her up onto the couch. And it was like a good reminder, like for Gibbon too. So doing a little bit more of that. Like I said before, I was like working on the barking and stuff like that. And she was doing great, but she was really, really timid, really timid, really scared. We're kind of suspecting abuse a little bit because she's super reactive, skittish. Even when she's eating her food and you make like a loud sound, it's like she's jumpy, and she's not coordinated. She's like all over the place. And now we're starting to notice at the 3 and 4 week mark that like we don't think that there was ever any training like whatsoever. So working with her through that. So anyway, so an example of going back to the behavior issues start to show up. My husband was preparing dinner in the kitchen, and he was making pork tenderloin. So he took out 2 pork tenderloins for our family. He had thawed them in the sink. Then he had them on the counter and was letting them dry with like some getting them ready to put like seasoning on them or whatever. Got distracted and went to go do something, but they were like on the counter. So I'm sitting in the other room in the living room on my laptop doing some schoolwork, and all of a sudden LOUE jumps up onto the couch with an entire pork tenderloin in her mouth. It's just like, yum. And I was just like, LOUE, no! And we unfortunately had to get rid of the pork tenderloin and get another one. But anyway, so it's just like that. But that's like, again, like I was saying to Vero, like, if it had been Gibbon who had done that, which he would have never, like, you can literally leave like a steak out on the coffee table and he won't, and leave the room and he's not going to touch it. But if he had, like, he would have taken it to the other room in a corner somewhere, like to like sneakily like eat it or whatever. But she just like jumped right up on the couch,
parading
like,
her pork tenderloin.
Like, check this out. There's like pork tenderloin in there. Did you see it? Like, there's still one there if you want to go get one. Like, it's just like, what are you doing? Anyways, and then tonight, like, we haven't been crating her because like her manners have been pretty good, and we decided to test it in the beginning to see how she was like, and she was doing fine. Like, she not destructive. She's got a buddy with her, so that like I thought it would help with some of the potential separation anxiety that can happen with the Zivimes and that kind of stuff. So anyway, so tonight we went out for dinner. Well, so this morning when I woke up and let her out, and I just returned from a trip, so I was tired, so I went back to bed afterwards, and she stopped in my front hallway. There's like this shelf that we have close to this wall, and it's got like, it's the IKEA like 4 square shelf, so there's like a box in each square for each individual in our household to put like their hats, their mitts, their scarves and stuff like that in. And then on top of this shelf, like we keep like our keys and like a basket with like poop bags for the dogs and all this kind of stuff. And we always keep a big bag of dog treats there because whenever they come back from a walk, we get them to sit, we wipe down their paws, we take off their leashes, and then they get a treat for behaving so well. And so anyways, so when I came back up to bed, she was like sniffing in between the shelf and the wall and pawing and scratching at it. And I was like, what the hell is she after? But I was just so tired. And I was just like, went back up to bed. And she went downstairs again. And I could hear her scratching like in between. And I was like, Lou, come. And I just brought her into our room with us, closed the door, like, fine. So later on, we had visitors come to our house, and I looked in between the shelf and I noticed that the dog treat bag had fallen, like tipped right over, and all the treats were like in between the shelf and the wall. And I was like, oh, that's what she's after. I was like, okay. Pulled the shelf out, cleaned it all up. Thank God there wasn't that much left in this, like, because it was like a Costco bag of like treats, of these like,
oh my God.
of like these beef, like dried out, like, I forget what it is actually. But
Liver?
it's like, yeah, it's not like leather. It's like a dehydrated beef sticks, and it's like these like thin pieces of like beef something.
Not
Anyways,
liver.
not leather though. No,
Not
it's
leather,
like,
but liver. Liver?
oh, liver. Sorry, I thought
Yeah.
you. I'm like, it's not leather. Why do you keep asking me?
Here's a boot.
I don't think it was liver either, because I think, oh my God, I think that would have made them really sick too.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if it's other organ meat or whatever, but anyways, it's like only got 3 ingredients in it, so it's not like it's like a total junk food like treat either, thank God. But anyways, so there was only like, there was less than a quarter of the bag like left. So anyways, so cleaned it all up and everything, put it back on the shelf. So we went out for dinner with our family members, and got back, and the dogs are at the door, and I'm telling them to sit because I'm trying to teach them the boundary of waiting for people to come in and remove their coats and like all this sort of stuff. And then I go into the other room, and this dog treat bag is like in a million pieces all over the couch, like all over the living room. And I was just like,
oh
my God, bad dogs.
Bad dogs.
Bad dogs. So hopefully they don't get too sick, or the brown laser, which they might tonight. So we'll just make sure to let them out. And I just hope it doesn't trigger Gibbon. Like, I can't even read the bag because it's like, I'm not even kidding you. It's like, it was shredded.
Oh my God.
Like shredded into a bazillion pieces everywhere. I almost wish we had the Furbo camera or whatever, so we could have like watched it go down.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if we should get one.
I actually got a different camera. My Pet Cube stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
So we got more of like a cheapy camera.
Yeah.
I can send you the link.
Ooh, yes. Maybe I'll get one. Can you talk to them through it though?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that's what she would need. She responds really well to my like, hey, or my like, no. She responds really well to that. But yeah. So she's definitely settling in. Getting those behaviors coming out.
Comfy.
Check out my pork tenderloin. I know where the dog treat bag is. I'm just gonna help myself.
She's hungry, Heidi.
Pharaoh said too. That was the other thing, and that could have like triggered it too, because I forgot to tell you this part. So this morning I woke up and I fed them, right? So then later on, my son woke up like at like 11. And I said to him on his way downstairs, I said, hey, I already fed the dogs. And I was like, okay. So then I came downstairs to make coffee, and he was like, he's like, I accidentally fed the dogs. And I was like, what? I'm like, I told you I fed them already. And he was like, I know. He's like, I went into autopilot because like normally during the week or whatever, he just wakes up every day and is responsible for feeding dogs. He's like, I just went into autopilot. And I was like, I was like, okay, well, I guess like we just won't feed them later. So when we were leaving for dinner, it was like their dinner time, and like they were giving us the stare down, but I'm not going to give them like any more food. So what I gave them was like green banana, because we had, because I figured that will help them with their tummies, give them a little bit of a probiotic or whatever. So made them work for it, do all the tricks they have in the book, and gave them a green banana before we left. So that's the other thing, like, because I was like, yeah, they might get hungry and might try getting into something. And it's funny because I even said to our other roommate who's like renting our basement, I was just like, hey, just to let you know, Lou's a counter surfer, so don't leave anything. Like, and he's like, yeah, he's like, no problem. I told him the pork tenderloin story. He thought it was pretty funny. You should have
Look what
seen
I
this thing
get.
on her mouth. She just like jumped right up onto the couch and laid down like so proud, like ears perked up. Like this is how you can tell she had no training. Like she was just like, check this out. Pork
Look what I
tenderloin.
get.
There's two of them in there. One for
This
me and
wasn't
one for
yours, was
you.
it? Oh, that's too funny.
I know. Yes.
I've been doing the green banana in the Kong in the
Oh yeah?
freezer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, right in the Kong. Right in the freezer.
That's
So
good.
good.
I want to do that, and that might be tempting to leave her for the day, but she's still, again, coming from that like weird environment that we're not too sure of. She doesn't know how to play. And remember, I think I said on a previous episode where like I was introducing toys to see how it went, like after like 3 weeks or whatever, and that she was like, like things go fine, but then they have a little bit of a bit of a snarl, so I had to take them away. And
Yeah.
she still doesn't get it sometimes. Like it's weird, like tails are wagging, and like I posted an Instagram video of them playing tug of war with like one of the toys, like we were
Yeah.
like, yay, we're like good doggies, like trying to teach her how like appropriate play with each other and what's good and what's bad and stuff like that, but she still sometimes um gets a little reactive playing with the toy. So if I
Oh, maybe in a
left
few
something,
months.
exactly, like, so I would love to leave a Kong for her, but then I know it would become a competitive thing between them, and if we're gone for the day, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving that out
Yeah.
unless I put her in a crate.
Yeah. I
Yep.
gave Ralph green banana, like a frozen green banana in his Kong. I put him
Mhm.
in his crate this morning so I could go downstairs and do some painting.
Mhm.
And I came back up and I let him out. And then I think it was like maybe 15 minutes later, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I'll go grab like his Kong in his crate because I just don't want
Mhm.
to leave it in there. And it wasn't there. And I was like,
Oh no.
oh, like, did he eat his Kong? Anyways, it was like in a corner of the room hidden. I was like panicking. I was like, did he eat the Kong or swallow the Kong?
God, that's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
That's a bad
Yeah.
feeling.
That was a bad feeling.
Yep.
I'm like, could he
Yums.
have? No.
Oh
But I
my
was like
God.
panicking because he's such a chewer.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, he
Ugh.
is.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yes, he
Ugh.
is.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm following quite a few rescue organizations on Facebook. Um, and I see these dogs sometimes that you can tell they've been kind of abused or neglected. And with Heidi's new little LOUE,
Mhm.
where you can see maybe some signs or some behaviors that may indicate that she's been neglected or abused. I thought I'd look it up to see what are the signs that your dog has been abused in the past. Some are more obvious than others.
Mhm.
So, first, you can check for physical signs of abuse. So, just the dog's general appearance. If he's too thin, if they were starving, that could be a sign of being neglected or mistreated.
Or even too fat, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Chunkers.
Like the little
She's just
chonk.
hungry. Because you see that often in those, like the organizations,
Yes.
pictures of the dogs where they're really skinny, or some of them are really big.
Mhm.
You can examine the quality of the dog's fur. So if there's like unexplained like clumps or tangles or really, really like matted hair, it might be a sign that the dog's been neglected,
Mhm.
hasn't been groomed. And then also with the fur, if there's any fur loss, like if there's any patchy fur, or they're like the fur is just kind of falling in clumps, that might be a sign that he's been neglected, or there's some untreated disease.
Malnourishment.
The dog's nails are overgrown,
Mhm.
so sign that the dog's been neglected. Untreated skin conditions, so scabs, wounds, bumpy skin, scaly skin, or some burns.
Oh.
Yeah. It breaks my little heart.
I know. I can't look at. We were talking about that tonight. How like there's like we were talking about how we all had like a friend at some point that was posting like the pictures. Like it's one thing I love seeing the stories where it's like they've people who rescue and it shows like the day of the rescue and what they look like and all these things like you're mentioning like
Mm-hmm.
matted fur and all the stuff that you're about to mention and stuff like that. And then when you see them come along in their progress and learn how to trust, and then they're like these happy like
And they
fully
don't
like
even look the same.
I know, I
Yeah.
know. But when people just post like the first photo and that's it, like you don't get to see the whole process of it or the end
Yeah,
result, it's like upsetting to look at.
it is.
Yeah,
It is upsetting. Mm.
doggies.
Another sign is look out for infestations.
Hmm.
So fleas, ticks, or other parasites means that the dog was not being well cared for. Um, Mistreatment, poor little doggy.
Yeah.
And then observing the dog's behavior. Know what kind of behavior to expect. Now, you are adopting a dog that's either been, with another family in a shelter that may not have been really neglected, but now he's coming into this new environment. So he might still have some signs like anxiety, excessive chewing, whining, but that does not necessarily mean that they've been abused.
Hmm.
They're just kind of anxious about their new environment, and it's going to take some time for them to get used to. But you can still observe how your dog moves. So if there's some difficulty moving or some like, it says lameness, so I guess like maybe slow
Yeah.
to move, unusual gait, yeah, moving slowly, doesn't like to be touched in certain areas, hard time getting up, lying down, or sitting, or there's a leg that's moving a little differently than the others.
Hmm.
Watch for aggressive behaviors. So growling, barking, snarling, baring teeth, and biting. Yeah.
Yes.
And signs of anxiety: excessive whining, excessive panting, drooling, chewing, digging, pacing, disliked of being left alone or separated, or urinating or defecating when separated from the owners. So
Yeah.
those are all signs that, if you're rescuing a dog or adopting a dog, to watch out for. It might gives you a little bit of information on your dog's past and how to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, give them some time. Like that 3-3-3 rule is like a pretty good one. So like the first 3 days, obviously they're gonna be like, where the hell am I? Who are these people? What
Mm-hmm.
am I supposed to do? It's like moving into like a new country where you don't speak the language and you're just like, sorry, what? What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? Like what's happening? Am
Who
I
is
allowed to
this?
eat
Where is
that?
that?
Am I
Yeah.
allowed to eat that? Am I allowed to go here? Am I allowed to go there? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, and that's kind of like very much what Lou was like. You
Pork
can.
tenderloin?
This is pork tenderloin for me. This place is the best.
Nom.
but if it carries out longer than that, then you can sort of see, and that's sort of the things that made us led to believe that there was a bit of like neglect or something. Like I can tell she's had zero training, and she came from a different province where they're French speaking. I even tried speaking in French to her. She didn't know how to sit. She didn't know lay down. She didn't know stay. She didn't know any of those things, and she's starting to get it and like getting in the routine, and I think it helps with another dog there modeling like the behaviors that you want to see. So yeah, no, she's doing well. But again, about the gait thing, like I was saying this to Vero, and I think I said this before on the show, that she, when we take them out for a run, she is she is not coordinated at all. Like when I was, and I think I mentioned this before too, like when Gibbs was a puppy, I took him out as a puppy, getting them into the agility sort of things, jumping up on things, going down a slide, jumping up on a bench, walking along like a fence, like fence, like not a fence, but like ledges of like different kinds and stuff like that. Fence is a little much, but all these different things
A
to get
tightrope.
a tightrope. I had him doing the trapeze for a little bit, but just to get like their muscles developed and get that confidence and get balance and like just very basic like agility sort of stuff. LOUE does not have any of that. Like she bails trying to jump up onto the couch. She falls going up the stairs like regularly. Like even now, like when she's comfortable, like seriously, like she the poor girl, she's just a hot mess. My husband texted me one night and was just like, she just tripped going up the stairs and then farted. And I was like, let's keep her. I love her.
I do that too.
Yeah, what's your point? But same thing, like going down the stairs, there's like a 50-50 chance she's gonna make it without falling. Like she just like totally yard sales like at the bottom. Like she's like like she starts going and you're like, oh yeah, and then it's like she starts getting like building up speed and then it's like just like all fours like Bambi on ice like at the bottom of the stairs. Sometimes she just falls for like no reason at all. Like she'll be walking down the hallway and all of a sudden just like blow a tire out and like fall.
Really?
So yes, like she's very clumsy. Very, very clumsy. Same when she's out like running. Like, oh yeah, so this is what I was saying. She looks like Phoebe from Friends, like running like you know how there's people who run like really like limbs all over the place. That's kind of what she's like. Like it's not a graceful or beautiful looking run like at all. It's just like
gotta see LOUE run.
Yeah, you gotta see her. Maybe I'm like overselling it, but she looks like a total goof. And she's getting better, like the more that like we've been taking her out every day. So again, developing like those muscles and stuff. So like I think she's starting to loosen up at the back a little bit. But again, like she like to stop, and maybe it's just the snow too. Like she's just not used to it. But like it's like a spin out. She's just like she can't like stop and then turn around and come back. It's like a like she goes sliding and the snow like everywhere, like and then gets up and like runs back. Like yeah, she's a total goof. So those are just some of the stuff that like we're noticing with her, and but you can tell she's getting like way more comfortable. So that's good. That's good. A precious LOUE.
That's so funny.
So just
but not
quick,
funny.
it's funny but not funny. It's like sometimes you're just like it's like almost like an endearing personality trait, but when you think about like the reasons of potentially like why behind it, it's like oh, it's okay. You're in a good place now. I can't wait to show her the cottage. She's gonna love the cottage. Yeah. I hope I'm hopeful that she'll be able to swim, but I'm not too hopeful because she's very clumsy. She's got big feet.
Can't wait to bring Ralph swimming again.
Oh my god, I know. It's the best. I love dogs who swim. I'm hoping she'll just want to follow me into the water and she'll just like go for it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, so I recently went out to Vancouver, the West Coast again, to visit a friend. She lives in a very posh area of town where I mentioned this on an episode before too, where I want to say like 90% of the dogs are small dogs. And just going back again this time, because I was there like for a bit longer, like this time, just like noticing some of the things and then like a couple of little cute stories that I saw too, is that like what I noticed this time is that there's like, because there was a friend of hers, so a friend of my friend's has a dog, like a miniature doodle sort of, and she's her name's Sunny. She's very cute, and she's never naked. They always have they always have clothing on her. So after my friend told me this, I started looking around and I was just like, well, oh my God, like it's true. Like everybody is like this. Like it's not very often that you see a dog just walking out with like not a piece of clothing on them. Like they're all dressed.
Aww.
and we went into a couple of like stores. Like we had to go to a store to get food for my friend's dog, Pickle. Pickle is not dressed. She hasn't gotten into dressing him yet. But yeah, like huge, like a lot of clothing being sold at like these stores and stuff like that. We had to go to a place to get food for Pickle. And there was just like the whole first part of the store was just like all clothing. And I was like, okay. I can't imagine going like shopping for my dog like that often. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then I texted, oh, they're there. There's another monster, everybody. I texted Vero because I was at Granville Island, like, and I was just outside, like, on the water, like, eating some lunch and watching the beautiful boats and the taking in the scenery and stuff like that. So there was this older gentleman that came and he had, again, like, it looked like a little Bichon Frise or something like that. Like, I'm not sure what breed, but a little floof, like, in his arms. And he was walking along the boardwalk and stopping and showing his dog every single boat that was parked, like,
Oh.
alongside the boardwalk. Like, he was like, look. He was like, here, look, here, look, here, look.
Oh my
And, like,
God.
talking to him. And I was like, oh my God. It was just so freaking cute.
That's
Oh my
so
God.
cute.
It made me laugh so hard. And then and one other thing that I noticed too, again, like, we're in this downtown area and there's, like, all these, like, condos galore and stuff like that, is I saw a vehicle that was like a doggy daycare pickup. So it was like a work van, and it was like doggy daycare pickup. It said on the side, here comes Lou, Miss Lou. Hello. And I was like, oh my God, can you imagine that? That's what I kept saying I wanted to do here in our city. If you got, like, a doggy daycare where you went and picked up people's dogs for them, like, in the morning,
Yes.
people would totally go for that. But I want to see the place where they're taking them to, and what are they
Yeah.
doing them. I wanted to, like, wait for the dude to come down and be like, hey, can I come? Where are you going? I want to see what this is all about.
Can I hop in?
I can help. I can help.
Oh, I want a doggy daycare.
Yes, I know. Like, you want to send Ralph to doggy daycare, or you want to run a doggy daycare?
I want to run a doggy daycare.
I know. Me too. Me too. What could we
Yeah.
call it? Hey, let's watch Snoots. Hey, let's watch Snoots. Yes. So
Yes.
those were my my Vancouver my Vancouver observations.
Well, we wouldn't fit in.
I know.
Need a little dog.
Little dog, and then
Lots of clothes. All the extra laundry.
I know. It's
No
true.
messy.
Yeah. My dogs must look so naked to them too. The Weimaraners with the short hair, they'd be like, his neck.
He's Nick.
She's neck. She's
He's
neck.
Nick. Aw. All right. Should I do some fun facts?
Yes, you should.
Yes.
What you got?
Okay. Bloodhounds can trace scents that are over 300 hours old. Their sense of smell is so strong that it can be used as evidence in court.
What? That's
Did you
cool.
know that?
I didn't know that it could be used as evidence in court. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Smart snoot.
Yes.
According to the American Kennel Club, obesity affects dogs more than any other health issue.
Wow.
The Great Dane is one of the tallest dog breeds. The record holder for tallest dog was a Great Dane named Zeus, who measured 44 inches, which is 1.12 meters, from paw to shoulder.
Paw to
I know
shoulder.
Zeus. I've seen him. I've seen him.
You seen Zeus?
I've seen Zeus.
Mr. Zeus.
Ooh, this is a good one. We know this, though. Dogs' brains need exercise, too. Interactive and puzzle toys are a great way to keep dogs entertained and stimulated. Yes.
I think that was on our last episode.
I think it was.
It was. We talked about it.
Speaking of doggy brains, dogs have brain activity and sleeping patterns similar to humans, and small dogs tend to dream more than big dogs.
Oh, now that I did not know.
That I did not know either.
That's crazy, because I've seen, like my dogs dream all the time. Like, every time that they fall asleep, the paws start going and they'd get that.
Yeah.
Like,
What are they dreaming about?
I know. Chasing something good. Chasing.
Think they dream of you?
I wonder.
Mommy. Woo! Mommy. Woo!
I'm running towards my mommy.
Give me my green banana. Dogs tend to wag their tails to the right when happy and to the left when anxious or frightened.
What? Come on.
What? Is that true?
I can't tell because my dogs don't have tails. They have little nubs. Little nubbins.
Well, I'll have to check.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a full wag.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. Check.
Although, I wonder if sometimes like they tuck their body, like not tuck, but move their body like one way
or the other.
And it's like wagging a little bit more.
So which one's which? Left is what?
Left is anxious or frightened.
Okay.
Right is happy.
Okay, I'll think left sinister.
The dog, and then there's like a Chinese symbol, is one of the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac. Those born under the sign of the dog are considered to be independent, sincere, loyal, and decisive.
Well, yep.
I'm a rat, I think.
Can't remember what I am. I think I'm a rooster.
A dog's normal body temperature is between 101 and 102 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 38.3 to 38.9 degrees Celsius. They're hot dogs.
That's a hot dog.
Hot dog.
Hot diggity dog. I am a rooster.
You are a rooster?
I just confirmed. Cock-a-doodle-doo!
I was going to say, what do they do? Dogs have 3 eyelids. Yes. An upper lid, a lower lid, and a third lid called the nictitating membrane, or haw, that protects and moistens the eye.
Yeah.
You can see that when they're like falling asleep.
LOUE looks like a legit zombie dog when she's falling asleep. Like 100% a zombie dog.
Scary.
Zombie dog.
LOUE is a zombie dog.
There
are an estimated 900 million dogs worldwide.
900 million?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, I have three or four. 4 more.
Okay.
I like this one. Frito Feet. The condition where dogs' feet smell like corn chips or popcorn happens when sweat and bacteria build up in their paws.
Oh!
Have you ever smelled your dog's paws?
I'm not kidding you when I say that, like, my husband smells them all the time because it's like a fond memory from him from when he was a kid because his parents had a dog and the dog wasn't allowed in the living room and there was a lip between the living room and like the kitchen, and so he can remember like crawling around on the floor and the dog would sit with his paws like dripping over like the ledge. Aww. And he would go and smell them all the time. So my husband will sit there and when the dogs are sleeping and he'll literally randomly just pick up their paws and smell them.
I had a dog. The paws smelled like Fritos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've smelled them before too where I'm like, it smells like corn chips. Yep. That's funny.
Sweat and bacteria.
Gross.
Dalmatians are completely white at birth. Like most of us, their spots come with age.
Yep, that I knew as well. I remember finding that out and being surprised by it, though.
Yeah. Okay, last one, which I did not know this. The poodle's notorious haircut was originally designed to improve its swimming. The pom-poms were thought to warm the joints.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Does it really though? I guess so.
Like if they're going swimming, it's all going to be wet and I guess it's an extra layer maybe, but weird.
Maybe like before they go swimming, they need to be all warmed up.
Maybe.
And that's it on Let's Boop Snoots Fun Facts.
And that might be a wrap altogether on Let's Boop Snoots.
We will see you next week. on
Let's
Let's
Boot
Boop
Snoots.
Snoots. Boop.
Boop.